back to my channel, and I'm so excited with a new change happening to my favorite favorite what should I call it? Framework. Yes, that is programming language. Dart is a programming language. Flutter is framework. It's not a programming language. So if you don't know about me, I'm Richard. I'm a software engineer by education and by profession. What do I mean that? I've been coding since I don't remember, more than 10 years with experience. I've been coding from PHP, Java, JavaScript, Flutter, that you name it. I've been there for so long that I've been interacting with multiple framework, and then to the point I decided to use Flutter. I will talk about that in future video. So I've been using Flutter for more than 5 years, more than 6 years or so. I've been building apps from mobile, desktop, and web using one code base, and something I really liked and something made me switch to Flutter initially is because I was using Electron to build desktop. Then recently I realized that I can't build web with Electron even though I'm using JavaScript, and I was like, huh, wait a second, JavaScript, and I cannot use the same code base to build web, and I cannot use the same code base to build mobile. That was like some solution that was called over, but then you cannot use the same JavaScript you have in Electron in codeover, and vice versa. So that was like a mess. I can't handle that. I wanted something more close platform. I don't want to reinvent my wheel and just going and create multiple code base uh, in different programming language. And here comes Flutter in 2018, I think. That's when it was introduced, and I was so hooked for the first time because the promise was like I can have one code base and be able to build the entire apps with around one code base. That was really something that motivated me and gave it a shot, and turned out like I'm not bad in terms of choosing a programming language, obviously. And I have been enjoying Flutter more, and more I use it, the more I discovered some limitations, and most of the limitation got worked out, and now Flutter is a good position to start shining as Flutter. Wink, wink. Flutter React devs out there, right? So well, I mean, like I've been facing a lot of challenges. I've been like, if you wanted to communicate with real native codes like Java code or C++ code, so that was a point where the only option was to use platform channel, and I don't want to just go there. Yeah, platform channel was like a solution, but not a good one. Yeah, so the communication, like if you can't read the image from the native and be able to get it to that view, that Flutter view, it will be painful. Your application will be running slow because at the time Flutter was using one thread to just have everything. So we have the UI thread and another thread. I don't know the name. So we have two threads, the UI thread and the second thread that is able to communicate. So, and if you wanted to get something from the platform channel and get it to the UI, you will face some freezing. Your application will freeze a little bit to get that data transported from that thread to the UI thread. So that was like a limitation. So now I think the platform channel has been improving so much. It's now work fine, but it is not still an ideal way of doing things. Now they're working on a new, very good. They're working on something called GNI, which is like a way of just using the native code directly without needing any sort of like FFI or something like platform channel. Right? Now that's not the point of this video. I wanted to give you a background. So I'm so happy with this announcement. So Flutter is now decoupling the design. So if you don't know about Flutter, it has something called Cupertino design and material design. And these are the design language from different companies. Honestly, material is Google-ish. It's like Google standards. Like everything from Google is material based. And if you don't know about that, so go read about the design. So there's different design decisions, but mostly influenced by these big companies. And if you go to Apple ecosystem, you find something like Cupertino. In this everywhere. It's like every Mac user, if you don't give them the cappuccino, your app is not really good. So the premise of Flutter was to be one framework for all, and to satisfy that needs, it needed to have these two major design uh, choice being built with Flutter. And mostly in a foundation, they had this material design that is was acting like the major design. Then the Cupertino was extending the material. So you can understand that in most cases, you will find that Cupertino is not like matching the design specs 100% as you'd expect from Apple ecosystem. And that was because of the design they took to make sure that the material is the base design, and on top of that they then built the cappuccino, and that came with some pros and cons. But at the moment they were able to move fast and create a a usable design, right? And that was really also a problem, because now not only that you have this Flutter framework that is so big, and because it is now mixed with the design and the other codes, right? And changing a design from material Bicabotino can result into breaking change to framework itself, right? And this is held back the Flutter so slow to adapt new things. And here is why we have now this new decoupling factor that is going to happen. And what's going to happen? They are going to try to take this material and Cappuccino, make it standalone packages on pub.dev, so that it can be installed separately, independently out of Flutter framework. So meaning that you'll be able to install Flutter alone without with the basic barebone widgets, which are standard. So they are going to have the standard widgets that is outside of either material or cappuccino, right? They are going to have Flutter as barebone, right? So you can install Flutter and have basic widgets. That is not material, that's not cappuccino, right? Then if you need cappuccino or if you need the material, you will need to install those packages separately outside the Flutter ecosystem. And this is has a major shift. First of all, the framework could be much small in terms of size and bundle size, because you no longer need to download the Cupertino if you are not interested in having the Cupertino design. And you no longer need material as well if you don't need material packages. And this would be much more interesting when it comes to contribution, because now developers, software engineers can be able to just contribute to these packages independently from the core Flutter ecosystem, which is going to accelerate the design, the coding and everything around moving the framework forward. So, and this it has a lot of benefits, like so there will not be any forced migration. So like if something change in material and something change in cappuccino, you will not need to to upgrade. So you can stay to your old Cupertino material package version if you don't need to upgrade, because you can still upgrade the Flutter framework without necessarily upgrading the design aspect of it. And this is going to improve a lot of things. So building the custom UI is gonna be much more easier. If you want, if you have your own design language, you can go ahead and just build your package and publish it on PubSpec and depend on it, or you can go and fork the package material and Cupertino and be able to change it, right? So that's what I wanted to to highlight. And if you haven't seen this, maybe this article, it's a just public document that highlight the change and what's going to happen within the Flutter ecosystem. Please, I will link this link down the video description so that you can go and read this design document. And I hope you liked this video. And if you don't, please, and if you liked it, please, why can't you give me a subscribe so that I can hit 1,000 subscriber on this YouTube channel? Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.